Live from New York, it's a show that wants to determine the future of a team based on their coach's hairstyle. Do that as you may.
As I said when Sirianni shaved his head, no one's ever shaved their head on a winning streak. Can the same be said for me just deciding out of nowhere to start rocking a ponytail slash man bun? Am I a little on tilt from the Chiefs being in 9th place? Maybe. Who knows? But somehow it happened. I tried to change it before the show. I was in too deep, so we're riding with it today.
We're starting in Dallas. A Monday night masterpiece from Dak. 4 touchdowns, was just a drop away from his 5th. 268 yards as the Cowboys climbed to 4-5-1, Brou. Excellent. Brou, the long-awaited grade for the Cowboys.
Yeah, because they were on bye last week, so it's been a while. But first, before we get to the Cowboys, and I got to let the audience know.
I knew he was going to do this.
Nick fought tooth and nail to keep this out of the show.
No, but I just knew you were going to do it
No,
here.
you guys know I look at all of the post-game tape from all the games. I scour it.
Yeah.
And Gino just said something that was too good to pass.
We're starting the show with a Gino
This is better than they wrote me off, but I didn't write back.
That's leadership. That's why he's a guy so easy to root for, bro.
Gino! I don't blame all that on you. You are not the sole reason that the Raiders are a tomato can. Pete Carroll's got some blame. The great Ashton Genty, who we were told was going to, take the league by storm by some people. They're all to blame. The defense, everybody, front office, okay? So they are a tomato can. But the fact that the Raiders are a tomato can is not going to factor into my grade for the Cowboys.
Why is that?
Because the Cowboys are a tomato can, or certainly tomato can adjacent. We've seen that. What's their record against winning teams? 0-4-1. Okay, so let's not get too crazy. You're talking playoffs and all that, but it was a very good performance. And first of all, they took care of business for their man, Marshawn Nealon. It was a very touching situation, and tough week for them. They wore the T-shirts. That was great to see. And they went out there and did what they needed to do for that. The offense was fantastic. My man Javonte Williams, almost 100 yards.
Always a fan.
George Pickens, as Jerry said, was incredible. CD was already barring the drop at the end. He could have had another touchdown. And Dak did his thing, right? Four touchdown passes. The big thing, Nick, and I know you saw this, the defense. The defense was pretty good. And the interesting thing is they held them to 16 points. Look, again, it's the Raiders, but those Raiders put, 29 on Jacksonville. So, they put 20 in beating your Patriots. Week 1 counts. I don't know. Week 1 counts. They put 20 on the Patriots, all right? So I'm not going to just, throw that performance away from the Cowboys because they brought back, they had 6 new guys on their defense. All right, we have a graphic for it, but obviously Quinnen Williams. But whether it's trade or guys returning from injury, we know Overshown, he's a good player, Malik Hooker. Yeah. So they brought back some talent. And Quinnen Williams, 1.5 sacks last night, season high. 5 quarterback hits, career high. So he was huge. We know that trade was big for them. He showed up. So, look, I've got nothing but love for the Cowboys and how they played last night. So I am giving them a – wait.
Cowboys fans say, Cowboys fans say, yeah. All the Cowboys say, A-game, A-game. A-game, Cowboys fans say, A-game. All the Cowboys say, A-game. Jerry Jones say, A-game, 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 A-game.
A-game.
All the Cowboys say.
Excellent, fellas, as always.
Excellent.
Yeah, great job.
Just perfect.
And
great
look,
job.
Consistently perfect.
Yeah.
Barring Wilds' comments about the Cowboys making the playoffs, they may fade soon, but we're going to find a way to get the crooners
Oh, the
onto
crooners.
another team somehow.
Those guys are
We got to
phenomenal.
keep using them. Yeah, keep bringing
So,
them.
all right. They obviously deserve an A. I do want to talk about a potential overreaction to the Quinnen Williams trade, if I may, because he was great. And he is a really good player. There's no questioning that. Whether or not I would have made the trade, sidebar, he's now on the team. Because you spent a few minutes or a few moments talking about the Raiders, I would like to say something about the Raiders in relation to Quinnen Williams. I actually think and I obviously was wrong about the Raiders, how good they could be this year. Their biggest problem, I believe, has been the worst offensive line in the league. I think worse than what Justin Herbert's dealing with, worse than what Cam Ward's dealing with. I think it's the worst. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is the Cowboys' D tackles of Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark looked like the Eagles' D tackles on Sunday night, utterly and thoroughly dominant. And I do think Quinnen Williams is an excellent player. I don't think they're going to have that level of impact week to week. I think that was a great first matchup for Quinnen Williams. If they were to have that type of impact week to week, then they could really go on a run. The team could. Because the offense is excellent.
Yeah.
And Dak has been excellent. And Dak, I know he had the couple weeks where the numbers dropped a little bit. Watching Dak week to week, he's been, to me, as consistent as any quarterback in the league other than Stafford and maybe Drake May. Josh Allen's had higher highs, but he hasn't been as consistent. Patrick hasn't been as consistent. Lamar's been hurt. Dak's been great. And that was a great win for Dallas, and Pickens was phenomenal. So I agree with the grade entirely. I don't know if I am as ready as I think some will be to be like, man, that defense is all of a sudden not going to be. If that defense could just be average the rest of the year, they're dangerous. I don't know that I even will go that far. I think they took advantage of a line that cannot block, and because of that, they don't even try to run the ball, and because of that, Geno's dropping back 30 times when they can't protect him. It's a mess. They're just
Try to
a total
run it out
mess.
of the end zone, though. Let's give that a shot.
Yeah, I mean, just a total mess.
All right, so do the Cowboys have a chance? Well, 10% according to my beloved playoff predictor. It's from The Athletic. I don't actually do it. Yeah. There are scenarios that boost that up to 90%.
Well, the scenario, he means if they win out.
Yeah, if they win.
If they win out, they have a 90% chance.
Involves winning all the tough games.
Bru's like, what scenarios? And it's going undefeated.
Currently in the hunt.
Yeah, I mean that's just by our own metric.
In the hunt.
In the hunt just means we decide to put you on the graphic.
Right there in the hunt.
So I disagree that they're in the hunt.
I'm baffled though. Hold on, 90% chance if they win out.
Yeah, because
they could win out and not make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, because of how far
they would be. What 11-5 and 1.
I think it's like 98.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it
was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean,
they'd be 11-5 and 1.
If they win out, I believe they'll assuredly be in, because what that would mean is there are 7 12-win teams in the NFC, and that's not going to be the case. So yes, if they were to win out, they could be in. Nobody, Cowboys fans included, expect them to win out. And so Dust, if we can throw up the Cowboys schedule and then go back to that playoff picture. The Cowboys schedule, again, depending on how good of a team you think they are, I think the most optimistic view is 5 wins. The most optimistic. Right? That they take
5 and 2.
That they.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
an optimistic.
That would be awesome.
Run,
that would be that would be a phenomenal close to the season. And 5 and 2 would put them at the weird 9, 7 and 1. Right? So they'd be better than all of the 9-win teams. They'd be worse than all the 10-win teams.
And like oddly, when I'm playing with it, it's like the Lions game. The Lions and Vikings games are obviously huge. The Lions game is.
Well, their 4 of their next 5 games. All those teams are also fighting for playoff position.
The 4 of everyone but the Vikings.
So they're not getting like any layups or anything. The Vikings again aren't like.
And by week 17, they think Jaden will be back. That's a different game there, and then we'll see. So they don't have
Their
easiest games are divisional games, which are never,
Right.
easy games. So then if we go back, Brou, to the playoff, graphic now, the problem for Dallas is simply that there is, in my opinion, going to be somewhere from a good to potentially very good team in the NFC left out, and that's with Dallas missing. For Dallas to make it, you then need the Lions and another team to miss, or the Packers and another team. So I don't see any scenario where the Cowboys climb all the way back in to where they pass not only Detroit, and again, just leaving Detroit where they are, you need someone else to collapse. And I don't think
You don't
that's
think
realistic.
the Packers could collapse?
I do think the Packers could collapse. I don't think two of them could collapse.
Okay.
Because the Packers, Bears, Lions play each other a bunch. So there's
right.
going to be some wins guaranteed for those teams. The hope for Dallas would be one of the NFC North teams collapses and San Francisco collapses.
Yep.
But I just think I think San Francisco has already gone through the choppiest part of its season, Brou, and they didn't collapse there. And so even if they just alternate wins and losses like they've done for a while, that would be enough for those teams to get to 10 or 11 wins.
Yeah, it's just a very slim chance. One, I don't think they're good enough to go fight. Like Detroit, I think Detroit's better than them. I think the Chiefs are better than them.
Sure.
I am actually, I'm giving them a chance to beat Philly next week.
So do I.
Like that might be my upset alert. I'm first dibs on that.
Sure.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But I think that could happen. Division game, they played them tough in week 1. Eagles are due for a lot. Like, it could happen.
But
even
Chiefs
so,
Thanksgiving, that's a weird game.
That's a short week on the road. That's tough.
Yeah. If the Chiefs lose to the Colts, I mean, I can't imagine. They still won't throw in the towel. Like, there'd be no reason to give up at that point. So they're going to be on high alert. So I just think that schedule you showed it. That's, to me, the biggest obstacle. Because even if their defense has become solid, they're not beating all those teams. So I just think that it's a very slim chance.
You think they could do something, KW?
I want to. When I was watching the game last night, I'm like, I want this team in the playoffs. So let me try to find a rationale to get them in. I was like, no Lane Johnson. This line looks good. The Eagles are due for a loss and aren't scoring a ton of points. That's a win. Kansas City on the ropes. Maybe that's a win. Lions are kind of up and down now. Maybe that's a win. And all of a sudden I started to talk myself.
The Cowboys have been more inconsistent than any of these teams. That's the thing. We haven't seen anything from them to make us think they can go on a run.
Offensively.
A few weeks ago, the offense is great, but I mean, a few weeks ago, we've thought some of their wins, here they come, and then they play a good team and they lose.
I think that if they go 6-1, I believe they will be in. If they go 6-1, because they would then
6-1.
Right, they would get priority over any 10-7 teams. There'd be no tiebreakers. They wouldn't. The only potential tie could be with Green Bay, who also has the tie on their record. If they go 6-1, then I think will get in. So my answer is I'm not giving them any chance of going 6-1.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that the schedule's too tough, and I don't believe that defense that we saw last night is going to perform at that level the rest of the year. If I thought they were going to have the 16th best defense in football, then I would think, you know what, you can get hot, because on any given night you have a top 5 offense. I just think they're going to have closer to the 25th defense with that top 5 offense, even with Quinn Williams and the guys getting healthy.
We'll find out quick.
Yeah, just quickly in the NFC playoff picture, if you haven't memorized.
Yeah.
There's always a team that makes a surge. What is your surge team?
See, there's usually a team that makes a surge because there's a bad team. There's a good team that started poorly. I think the NFC this year is different. I look at the teams that are in the top 8 right now, and I'm like, man, I think the worst of them all is the Bears.
Yeah.
And I think the Bears are a fine team. I don't look at any of those teams in the top 8 as fraudulent. and I look at Green Bay and Detroit at having underachieved. And so because of that, I just don't.
No surge?
I don't know. I don't see a party crasher.
Okay.
I don't see a party
crasher.
No, I see though the Bears probably falling.
It's easier to just fall out,
because they're playing a lot of that division.
I would buy it if there wasn't a team we all thought potentially was really good sitting at 8. That's the problem for everybody else. Is that if one of those teams collapses, Detroit is ready to take that spot.
Right.
They need 2 collapses, and I just don't see that
Cowboys
happen.
might be the surge team.
I'm shocked you're not going with your Panthers.
It'd be fun if they
as
were,
the surge team coming off Bryce's
Panthers
450
might
yards.
Panthers might just win.
Just take Tampa's spot? I doubt it, but they could.
About to be 0-3.
We'll see. We'll see.
Chiefs hosting the Colts this Sunday. Their playoff chances dimming, but the light is still bright in the building. Here's a reason for optimism. KC, better than they were last year. Better point differential, better turnover differential. People point to Mahomes, but his passer rating is better.
And more yards and more touchdowns. They're scoring more. They're allowing fewer points.
Defense is better, yeah. So should the Chiefs believe they can turn this season around?
I think they should, and I can just tell you, again, I guess this is kind of a fake news hat situation. Again, the hat is fake, the news is real. The fake hat doesn't even fit over my ponytail anyway. In the building, they think this team should be, and in some ways is, better than last year's. That they are, last year that they had fundamental issues that they were constantly trying to, a leak in the boat that they were trying to fix, in that they did not have a left tackle all year long, and the receiving core was just wildly injured. And so because of that, they were trying to, scotch tape things together. They don't feel that way about this team at all. And I think that's also evidenced by the fact that, rightly or wrongly, they could have added Breece Hall. They were like, yeah, we'll do it for a 4th, but not a 3rd. Like, they think that they do have enough. So, and I agree with them in that. So I do think that they should believe they'll turn it around. I also think there needs to be very honest conversations about why are we not making the winning plays in the winning moments? Why are we making the same special teams mistakes and penalties? Why, defensively, did Bo Nix and the Broncos know what blitz was coming on the 3rd and 15? You know what I mean? What are the things we need to do? And they have 3 first ballot, no doubt, Hall of Famers playing.
Right.
I would argue the only one who is right now playing his best that he can is Travis.
That he can.
Yeah, I mean, Travis is not playing like peak, but at 36 years old, he's second of all tight ends in yards. He's having a better year than he's had in 2 years. Chris Jones has not had a great year, and Patrick has had a great month plus, which gave him the numbers that are carrying him right now. But the last 2 weeks and the first 2 weeks, Patrick wasn't great. And so I think you rely on your legendary players to, do legendary things down the stretch.
First of all, I think very few NFL individual players or teams would feel like at 5-5 they don't have a chance. Like, I just think athletes in general, at this level, world-class athletes, they feel like every time they step on that field, they can win. We're looking at it, the outside world, thinking, oh, they've lost 2 straight, or, this team's. They're not thinking that. They're not thinking that. So, and imagine now a team with their pedigree that's won 3 Super Bowls, that's been to 5 of the last 6. There's no way they are or should be thinking this over. And then you gave some of the empirical evidence, like you gave some of the stats. They're the 4th best defense in the league, scoring defense.
And
4th best.
And they're 8th in points?
9th in points.
Yeah.
They lost to the Eagles by 3. These are all games, and last year we know they won all these close games. I think I disagree with you to some degree, Nick. Like, some of this is just coming back to the mean.
Yes. I agree with that.
Losing 5 of these games that are 1-score games is not normal either.
Yep.
So I think they're going to start winning some of these games. You certainly don't need to doubt Mahomes or Andy Reid. They lost by 3 to Jacksonville, 3 to Denver. Like, the other 2 were one-score games. Like, they are right there. So there is no way they should be feeling like they're out of it at all.
I'm going to invent another phrase.
Oh, can't wait.
I have a long history of inventing phrases. Defense wins championships.
That become cliches.
Yeah.
So good.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. When there's an issue in Texas around Houston, I say, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
People have been using that. Not literally. Put your money where your mouth is. Not literally. But what I mean is, if you want to talk so much, then maybe your actions and even your financial
Are you telling me to
decisions.
bet on the Chiefs?
I'm
to
not
win the
telling
Super
you,
Bowl? I have.
but everyone's saying the Chiefs are done. The Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs.
Oh.
The Chiefs, it's Rams, Eagles, Bills, Colts, and then Seahawks and Chiefs tied. They're playing the Colts this weekend. They are favored by 3.5.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of social media chatter about the Chiefs dynasty being over and the Chiefs are washed and something wrong with Mahomes. But when it comes to time to put your money down, and this has fallen because they used to be top.
They were the favorite. They were the favorite going into the Bills game by a lot. After the Bills game, they fell to co-favorites with Buffalo.
But they're still ahead of the Broncos.
They did take a hit by losing to the Broncos.
But they're still ahead of the Broncos.
And I think part of that is, if I may, again, at this point, we should get royalties from the New York Times for promoting this athletic playoff prediction.
Wait till you see how the money we get from money where the mouth is.
Okay, good point. If the bracket falls the way they say is most likely, with the Chiefs making the playoffs as the 7th seed, and the Chiefs and the 1 seed is New England, which is, again, they're saying most likely, and the 2 seed is Denver, and it's that game. And the Chiefs, having won either 5 of 7 or 6 out of 7 to make the playoffs, they're like, okay, in order to make our 3rd straight AFC championship game, what we need to do is go to Denver and play Bo Nix and the Broncos, who, again, it'll be the 3rd time we've played them in a short period of time.
Yeah.
But a game that certainly they would say, and then go on the road, very tough environment, against a quarterback in his first ever playoff start. Which is, if you're the 7th seed and you win, you're guaranteed.
Right.
Even though they reseed, you're guaranteed it. I think the Chiefs would say, all things considered, we'll take our chances with that.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? And so I think part of the Chiefs, what is helping the Chiefs in this is, oddly, because of the seasons Baltimore and Buffalo are having, and because of how bad, but Baltimore's path is a division championship, and Buffalo's path appears to be a wild card, they likely are going to be in the harder part of the playoff bracket. That's a bunch of unproven teams. Yeah. The top seeds, Patriots, Broncos, Colts, and I feel like people like Kansas City, if they get there, their chances in those
I think
spots.
it would be any of the teams. Obviously, the Chiefs aren't looking at Baltimore or Buffalo like,
correct.
wow, even if they were having great years.
Yeah. That's Shedeur, expected to get his first start of the year when the Browns take on the Raiders. Shedeur only completed 4 of his 16 passes against the Ravens, but now we'll have a full week to prepare. Is that a new suit? That looks just marvelous.
No, he wears that all the time. Looks great.
I'm gonna ask to wear that.
There's a
I'm
happy
gonna
medium
ask-
in between.
No,
there.
all the
Very
time.
versatile.
He's worn it before. It's double-breasted
It looks great.
tweed or whatever. and It's fantastic.
Sorry.
You look
With
almost
his
good.
body changing, that's what
I'm
it
just
is.
trying to compliment you, buddy.
What are your expectations for Shedeur against the Raiders?
Kevin kind of hit on it a little bit. Obviously, we want to see growth from him getting his first exposure last week to obviously this week, full week of practice. But what has to be on display is his ability to manage the game, meaning getting the guys in and out of the huddle, being able to process what's going on defensively, schematically, picking up blitz, being able to assist his offensive line with protection. Again, a lot of this is going to be a lot because we have high expectations of this specific player. No one is saying we need you to win the game, but we need you to be a reason why we can compete and be competitive offensively. A long stretch to ask, But managing the game, being decisive, being one that makes decisions and not second-guessing it, that's what I want to see out of Shedeur. Again, he has a lot that he's going to have on his plate this week, and it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with it. Great opportunity against the Raiders, a team that not a great team, but they can get after you in the pass rush. So it's going to be another test for him.
Yeah, and I think last week, and somewhat fairly, I mean, a lot of the blame people put on the coaching staff or whatever for not preparing him. But, and some of it obviously has to land on him. A lot of it lands on him. But if you want to talk about the organization not having him ready, that's fine. That excuse is not there this week. Like, he's going to have a whole week. They're going to do a game plan that fits his style of play. He's going to have a week with the starters, you know, and getting used to his cadence and all of that stuff. I'm not saying he's going to be sensational, because we've seen really good players just struggle maybe their whole rookie season. Yeah. Cam Ward hasn't been good this season. Doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player. So, in addition to what you said, and this is hard because this is instinct, but running backwards out of the pocket,
don't do that. He's
got to try to stop that. Getting rid of the ball quicker, not holding it as long. Now, again, those are his instincts, but he's got to overcome those things, kind of like Caleb.
Yes.
Now, it took Caleb, a year plus maybe?
Yeah.
So it's not quick. But Shedeur's in a situation, this is the NFL.
Correct.
Like, nobody's holding your hand. Nobody's going to wait several years for you. Maybe he's been treated unfairly. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe people have underestimated him. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they've just rightly observed him. Whatever the case, he has to go out there and show something. Doesn't have to be a 3-touchdown game, but show something where you're like, okay, we see it. This kid can be good one day.
And listen, I understand there is a lot of, in my opinion, nonsense chatter, but chatter all the same about the Browns essentially setting him up to fail. Okay. I don't believe that to be true. Even if you do, you must still reconcile that the entire league passed on him 3 or 4 times. He was available for the Browns pick in the 5th round, which means, again, CU Buffs 5634 on Twitter. I get it. He was awesome at Colorado, and you're a Prime fan. But the league let us know what they thought of him after Colorado. It is on the board that this game Sunday is the only chance he has this season to put on game film. You know what I mean? It's on the board. Like, he plays poorly or well or mediocre, and then Gabriel's back from a concussion, and Stefanski rolls with Dylan Gabriel the rest of the year. So I say all that to say this. This is the most important game of Shedeur's life. Maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it's not fair. But it absolutely is. There was no point in high school when he could lose his job or not get another chance at Jackson State or at Colorado. And now he gets a full week to prepare. He is against a bad team that is on a short week themselves, who I'm not saying they've given up, but Miles Crosby
has to be low.
Right. Morale is low, and you now have an opportunity for 60 minutes to put real film out there that could make it to where even if the Browns are out on you, someone else is like, you know what? Worth something. The same type of deal the Cowboys gave up for Trey Lance. Somebody be like, yeah, we'll bring Shedeur in and see what it is. Because if he looks at all like he looked in that Ravens game, man, it is his future is murky. Because I do think NFL teams that were worried, even if it's not his fault, bringing him in puts extra scrutiny and questions and everything. Those worries have been confirmed. Like there is an extra part of Kevin Stefanski's day that he has had to deal with that other teams have not had to deal with about their 5th round pick. And so and again, that's not Shedeur's fault, but it is the reality. So it's a long way of saying he's got to be good. Because if he's not good, like, this might be his only chance. with a full week to prepare in an NFL game to be good.
So I don't necessarily think he has to be good.
Just can't be bad.
He cannot be bad.
That's the better way
Can
to
he
put
be
it.
bad but not terrible?
Gabriel hasn't been good.
Exactly.
He's actually been
He has
bad.
to look functional.
This is why I'm saying the management of the game, and maybe not even the game, the offense. Like, can you make decisions, decisive decisions that even if you want to revert to your instincts, you are disciplined enough to not do that when you don't have to. I'm not saying don't be a robot. I'm not saying be a robot. I can't stand those type of players. I can't stand the guy that only does what the coaches say and they forget who they are to the core. So be that. Know that that's there. But what has to be and has to be shown is that you can play on time, that you can be decisive when you get the ball, when you drop back, that you can protect not only yourself but receivers as well. Like, all of what we saw in last week's game, you can say whatever you want to say. I've heard the full gambit of reasons / excuses of, backup quarterback, well, they're expected to get in and do this. The reality of it is, and he hasn't had the offensive plays, the reality of it is we're all professionals. And at this level, the expectation of the other guys that are going to be on the field, your coaching staff, and yourself is, I'm going to be ready, period.
Right.
Like, so regardless of how we feel about the people who are assisting us in preparing, they have nothing to do with you preparing the way that you need to prepare. And so for me, this is about Shedeur. When you get into this building every day this week, you put forth your best effort. And I'm certain he will do these things, and he has the ability to. But this is not Colorado. And I think we lose sight of that because of who he is and what he's meant, like in obviously prime. But there's been so many great college players that don't produce on this level.
Right.
So this is not an aberration. This is not just, oh, he's the only one that's ever. No. The reality of it is he has an opportunity in front of him this week. And if he makes good on it, not meaning he has to go out there and throw for 250 plus or 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Looks like a regular
it needs
young
to
quarterback.
look like, okay, he can run an offense. He's a guy that we can put in and actually say, here, man, run my offense.
But what is that? So I'm confused. What does that look like?
That,
like 185 and completes 60%. Like Cam Ward has a very long leash. He can be bad the whole year.
He can.
Drake May was, numbers-wise, was bad the whole year with a few pops of lightning.
That's the benefit of being a top 5 pick.
But you hear what you're saying. Even with Cam Ward, even some of the throws that he's made, and he has not been great.
No, and he's running around doing weird stuff too.
We've seen things that are like, man, that arm strength.
And they have a real investment in him.
Exactly. When you're the number 1 overall pick, you have an extended leash that others don't have. Drake May, you being a fan of Drake May, you were willing to take the year and see, okay, when he does get in, do I see glimmers? Do I see something that gives me hope as a fan, from your perspective, of I think we got something.
It just seems like
it's hard, man.
Hey, you played half a game against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Now you got 5 days. Like,
you know how many?
You better be.
Wow, do you know how many 5th-round guys would love to have an opportunity to just jump in and start?
Right. Yeah. Most don't ever get that.
Yeah.
He did, look, he threw it downfield. Even after the mistakes, the interceptions, a lot of misses, he did show the confidence to continue throwing it downfield.
Absolutely.
And throwing it like downfield a lot more than Gabriel. Gabriel's just dinking and dunking all day. So we'll see. He's got an opportunity.
Okay. Brock returned triumphantly against the Cardinals. 3 touchdowns, 133 passer rating. 49ers put up 31 points. Okay. George Kittle is a great guy.
He is.
He's a great guy. Did Purdy put any QB controversy to? For the record, Mac Jones was also cheering on Brock Purdy.
Hold on. You're the vibes guy.
Yeah.
How'd those vibes look?
It looked great. It looked great. Brou, I think everybody won in this scenario. Mac Jones proves that he's a great quarterback.
Well, hold on. Great quarterback?
Looks like it to me. Run the numbers. Run the numbers. Is he bottom 15 in a lot of stuff? Not great. It's fluid.
Great is a little far.
Solid. How about solid?
What he did to me is show he deserves a shot somewhere. Like he
win.
earned a shot to start somewhere. And it might not be for 2 years. Like Nick brought up a good point last week. If you're the Niners, even if Brock plays the rest of the year, looks good, you might want to keep Mac because of Brock's injury history.
Now,
Brock would want him out of there, but I think it's.
I mean, that's human nature, to be honest. You probably would. But what's the question? Because this is really about you. You were the one, pounding the table, saying Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy.
Stay out of the Niners.
All I said was play the best quarterback.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Like, well, when you look at his contract, it's like Nick's haircut. It's gotta happen.
All right, look, I'm going to give you the most oranges to oranges comparison possible.
Great.
We always get oranges to apples, and there's a little something different here or there. This right here is oranges to oranges. Both of them this season against the Arizona Cardinals. With Purdy, they put up 41. With Mac, they put up 16. Purdy's passer rating, 60 points, 50 points better. Completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 1-1 for Mac. That's nice for a backup. Yards per attempt, but I mean everything.
Well, the pass yards, not quite.
Yeah, Mac threw for more yards. That's it.
I mean, I think this was his first game ever with the team, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, so what? I mean,
he played
Purdy,
2 games, right? And then he got hurt, and then I think he came in, and then week 4, Brock was back and played.
Mac had a whole week to prepare, like Shedeur. Game plan based on him.
So. I mean,
and this is Purdy was
the
coming.
Passing yards are out
Purdy
there.
was coming.
I guess
Here's the thing Purdy has shown.
It's oranges to oranges because of who they played and the stats are there. But the guys who played in this game,
McCaffrey was in both.
Where was Kittle?
Kittle was out one, but Pearsall
Which one was Kittle out? Don't just say he was out one.
For Max.
We clearly
so what?
He's got the job.
Was Kittle going to put up 25 points?
He's got the job.
Here's the one thing.
I'm pro Brock. I don't know how I got on the side of it.
For the last month, you have been ready to send him packing.
No,
don't act like now I'm pro
meritocracy. That's all I want. I said start the better quarterback.
Okay.
If Brock Purdy is better than Mac Jones, start him. That's fine. But trying to get him in there because of his contract, I thought that was terrible.
We agree, and we've said we're not just going to base it on contract. But that is just the fact of the matter is he's got the contract, he's going to play.
Yes,
but
I'm rooting for Brock.
The one thing that Purdy does have over Mac, and maybe Mac will even the score later on in his career, but like Darnold, Daniel Jones, we're wondering what will even Dak and Jared Goff to some degree in the playoffs. Like, I'm not saying Purdy's been Mahomes in the playoffs, but he has shown that poise. First playoff game, throws for 300 yards in a win, then leads game-winning drives in the playoffs.
The moments don't seem too big for him.
Right, and in the Super Bowl, he played, well enough. And so even this game, there was pressure on him because Mac did play well.
The Cardinals?
No, but Mac was playing well. No, yeah. I'm just saying he has the poise where he doesn't let the moment scare him.
I'm so happy.
We don't know if Mac has it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.